Welcome to Book on a Shelf, where we break down the literary classics for you. Today, we are diving right into one of the big ones, Sophocles' powerful and, believe me, timeless tragedy, Antigone.
This whole explainer, this whole play, really hinges on one single massive question. When it comes down to it, who do you answer to? Is it your family or is it your country?
Now, to really get why our hero Antigone is in such an impossible spot, we've got to take a quick look at her family. And wow, is it a story. Okay, so here's the quick version. Antigone's dad was the famous King Oedipus. Yeah, that Oedipus. After he was gone, her two brothers fought over the throne and, wouldn't you know it, killed each other in the same battle. This family history isn't just some boring backstory, folks. It's the lit fuse of a bomb, and the explosion starts the second their uncle, Creon, takes charge. And this is where it all really kicks off. You've got two huge, unbending ideas of law, and they're on a direct collision course. All right, let's break this down. On one side, you have Creon's brand new law, the law of the land. He says his nephew, Polynices, was a traitor, so his body has to rot in the open, public enemy number one. But on the other side, you have what the Greeks believed was the law of the gods themselves, a sacred rule that says everyone deserves a proper burial, or their soul is doomed to wander lost forever. So what does Antigone do? She doesn't even blink. She basically says, your law, Creon, that's temporary. The laws of the gods are eternal. For her, this isn't even a debate. It's a no-braining. But then you've got Creon, and he is just as dug in. From his point of view, order and loyalty to the state are everything. He's not about to honor a man who attacked his own city, even if it is his own flesh and blood. So, of course, Antigone does it. She goes out and performs the burial rites for her brother. And this forces a showdown, a head-to-head confrontation, that's going to expose Creon's one huge, fatal weakness. And this is where it gets really interesting, because we see Creon's sense of duty just curdle. It hardens into this classic tragic flaw the Greeks called hubris, just pure toxic pride. He gets so locked into his own worldview that he literally can't see anything else. And get this, even his own son, Haemon, who's actually engaged to Antigone, sees what's happening. He comes to his dad, and he's practically begging him, Dad, listen, be flexible. The trees that don't bend are the first ones to snap in a storm.
And Creon's response? Nope. He's not having any of it. In this moment of pure hubris, he yells, the state is the king. He thinks he is the law, and he makes it crystal clear he is not going to back down, especially not for a woman.
So Creon makes his call, and it is brutal. He sentences Antigone to be walled up alive in a cave. And that single, stubborn decision, well, it's like knocking over the first domino in a line that ends in absolute disaster. So there she is, sealed in a tomb. But instead of waiting for a slow, agonizing death, Antigone decides to go out on her own terms. It's one final act of defiance. She hangs herself. Then Haemon gets there. He's rushed to the tomb to try and save her, but he's too late. He finds her body and, just in this fit of pure grief and rage, he tries to kill his father. When that fails, he turns the sword on himself, dying right there next to her. And just when you think it cannot possibly get any worse, it does. The news reaches the queen, his mother. She just walks to the palace altar, curses her husband for killing their son, and takes her own life. The entire family is just gone. The tragic irony is that Creon does eventually change his mind after a grim prophecy from the prophet Tiresias, but he's way, way too late. He arrives to find that his pride has cost him literally everything. He's just a broken man, standing in a room full of his dead family. So what's the big takeaway? The chorus spells it out for us right at the end. They basically say wisdom comes from respecting the gods, and that if your pride makes you defy them, you're going to be destroyed. It's a brutal lesson, and Creon learned it in the hardest way imaginable. And that's the question the play just leaves hanging in the air, right? A question that's still so relevant thousands of years later. When is following the law the wrong thing to do? And when does breaking it become the only right thing to do? There really is no easy answer. If this explainer helped you wrap your head around this incredible tragedy, do us a favor and like, share, and subscribe to the channel. We do deep dives like this all the time. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next episode.